Yo, what's up, guys? It's Turn. Welcome back to the Terncast. I think this would be episode 4. So hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. Today I'm here with my co-host Daedrin Anti,
Hello.
and we have a special guest today. Really excited to have him on, Mutified.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
So today we're just gonna kind of get to know him and talk about some of the things he's experienced in esports. So I guess the first kind of question we want to start with is, who are you?
My name is LJ Brown. I'm from Kansas City, Kansas, and I am the founder and director of esports at Kansas City Pioneers Esports.
Gotcha. So just talking about like your organization in general. Give us some accomplishments from that org, or what you guys kind of work on.
Yeah, so I founded KCP in July of 2019, so hasn't even been a year yet. We're coming up on that year. Um, but yeah, we've done some recognizable things, just in this short period of time. As soon as I founded the company, we immediately signed a uh, a CS:GO roster in the Mountain Dew League. It was short lived because of some contractual terms and some things like that. But immediately after that, we signed our first Madden player. He was a pro player and he was ranked fifth in the world. And he actually went and competed under us in, I think, August, the end of August, beginning September, and placed fifth out of, I think, 500 contestants. And we were able to make, like, we were on the not on the news, but we were on TV. They re-aired the event on the CW channel on TV, so it's pretty huge, just to have somebody that was a part of KCP, to be on TV and place well. And then he went to another event in December and placed decent, but another short lived player org agreement. And then we made our, I think this was probably our most successful you know uh endeavor. I wouldn't say like the best placement, but like just the social growth we got from it, the content we produced from it, and just the overall ethic that went into this was just great. We had a European Call of Duty team that competed at the CDL opening in Minnesota. And I actually traveled to that myself. I was there, and it was the greatest experience ever. We had just got our new fresh 2020 jerseys done. And the team, they didn't place that well, but like I said, the experience was just great. I was able to meet some players, org owners, staff members that I, talked to online and, never met in person. So it was really cool to meet a lot of those guys and, chat with like pro players and whatnot, and just watch the team play. Even though, like I said, even though they didn't place very well, uh, it was just a dope experience. And since then, we've been focused on our content team a lot. We do a lot of content. We do documentaries, vlogging, dope photo shoots. It's been a great experience. And so our content team is one of our other major accomplishments. We've grown exponentially. You might have to cut that. No, but no, it's been great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that sounds really, really interesting. So you said you went to Minnesota, like personally. You probably might imagine like meeting a lot of people, a lot of connections there. Are there any, interesting stories or conversations or anything that was of significance when you went to the event?
Um, Hmm. So when I actually was at the venue the first day, the whole experience was great. But like like I said, the whole experience was great. Walking around the city. I didn't really Uber too much or anything because everything was pretty much compacted. Like my hotel was right by the team's hotel, the venue, everything like that. So that was the experience was really dope. But getting inside the venue and chatting with like a lot of the amateur players. Personally, I'm a much bigger fan of the amateur scene than I am of like the pro scene, and I think that's just because of the community itself. But I got to chat with so many amateur players that I've seen online, and you get to seeing like what they look like and what their demeanor's like in person. It's like, you just make some really cool friendships. And then on top of that, when I got to like the main event venue upstairs in the armory, I got to chat with some pro players, like Formal, Scump, Gunless. I was like right behind where their entrances was. And so, I got some free VIP passes to sit like extremely close to the stage.
Hey, yeah.
Um, yeah, so it was just really dope. And so I got to see some very cool things and experience some very cool things as well. So
So being an org owner, it's got to be pretty tough, especially being at such a young age. But what I want to know is, what were you up to before you moved into, like managing an organization? Like, what were you up to, and like what made you, pursue that path?
that's a great question. So I've been in esports, just the community, I would say, probably since I was about 14 years old. I used to be really big on Madden, and then I got into COD, man, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with just playing it, and then I got into my wagers, and that's how I gradually got into the community. And I think when I was about 15 years old, I got my first part time job, and every little penny I made went into something that had to do with gaming or esports. And I think the first thing I did with like my first couple paychecks was buy a pre-made logo and started my own little Twitter org or whatever you'd like to call it. But it was just something that I fell in love with instantly. um and then I play football as well. I play college football, and so I've always had to juggle sports and esports and gaming. And it's been hard at times, but obviously it's worked out for the best. I still play college football, and I do esports as well. So I got to juggle the two. They're both of them are a passion of mine. But I graduated high school last year. I graduated. I'm a year younger than everybody that's in my class as well. So I graduated at 17 years old. Um, and as soon as I graduated, I knew like I wanted to start my own org. And it took me about 2 months to brainstorm what I wanted the name to be, what the branding was going to look like, how much money I was going to have to put into it. So I saved up the amount of money I needed to have to purchase the branding. Uh, which isn't something that I take lightly. Branding's really huge for me. So I didn't want to
Oh, of course.
I didn't want to go out and buy, any cheap, super cheap, looking low quality branding. So, I had to go out and grab the LLC, and, all the legal stuff. And then, I did it all alone, man, by myself. And, months later, I got a ton of people, not a ton of people, but I got the right people to come on board and help me out with everything and actually operationalize everything. So, no, it's been great though.
All right, so another thing we kind of had on the list was the Cheeto drama. So this is something that was talked about in the community a lot, and I was involved in personally. So if you could kind of just give us some insight on that and what happened, I can tell kind of my point of view from the start, and you can kind of elaborate on that. So I saw everyone doing these hoodie retweet deals and stuff like that. So I liked the KCP branding for a long time, like just from when they came out. I thought it was a really sick idea. They were super close to me. I live in Iowa, so Kansas City is not that far from me. So I hit up Mutified and I said, "Yo, how many retweets for a hoodie?" I don't remember the exact amount you gave me, but it was not like crazy big or anything. And I was like, "Yo, this is this is sick." Whatever. He's trying to help out the community. Um, and then from there, I ended up hitting my retweet goal, and Mutified ended up sending me my hoodie. But what happened with the whole Cheeto thing? Because I know that was a big topic in the community for a while.
Nah, yeah, nah, yeah. I think this is gonna, even though that it was a negative like experience and negative situation. I think that it's always gonna be something that like maybe me and Cheeto might come back to, and 2 or 3 years from now and just kind of laugh at, and just where depending on where we are in the future, because he has a pretty uh big and unique fan base. just being like the personality and player that he is in the community. So props to him on building that from the ground up. And so yeah, it's definitely gonna be something that's gonna be laughable. Maybe a couple years from now, but yeah, man. So I always take, like I said, I take pride in my branding, and I love when people want to be a part of it. Even if it's something where like, I have no problem, sending a homie a shirt or a hoodie or something like that. But like when people, jump in my DMs like, hey, how many retweets would it take to get some of this merch? It's dope. That really stands out to me, and I love that. I love that attention, and I love that people are paying attention to my brand. And so, Cheeto approached me with the same exact, type message that you sent. How many retweets will it take to, get a hoodie? And so I'm like, I think I told him 75. Like it wasn't even high. And at the time I thought it would be high. I'm like, okay, we're a startup organization. I didn't know I didn't know who Cheeto was at the time. I'm like, it might take him a while to get it. I don't know. I'm like, either way, I'm gonna say 75. Probably should have said like 150 or 200 because probably could have got that. But I'm like, hey, let me just give it the benefit of the doubt and tell him 75. So he got the retweets, I think, in about 4 or 5 days. And then I'm like, okay, perfect. But at the time, we had some not altercations, but we'd had some complications with Sector 6 in our gear. We were getting like jerseys with like the wrong numbers, the wrong names, the wrong sizes. Some of the printing, like some of the prints weren't right. So we at the time were considering, and I'm not even gonna say we because it was at this point I was still kind of running the org by myself and just getting help from graphic designers and whatnot. But I was pretty much running everything by myself. But at the time I had second thoughts about being with Sector 6, and I was gonna switch to Acquire. We actually still have merch with Acquire, and that's who our windbreakers and beanies are through because I was gonna go ahead and start getting the merch done through them. So I had second thoughts on Sector 6. I didn't want to send them a hoodie from a company that we were about to leave because it's like, why do that when we could get them a fresh one from some updated ones. um so I'm like, hey, there's gonna be some delays on your hoodie, man. Like it's just a $30 hoodie. Like, come on. I'm like, hey, there's gonna be some delays on your hoodie. Deciding if I even want to stay with Sector 6. We're getting some stuff done with the choir. Just give me some time and I'll get it shipped out to you. And I think I told the same thing to you, Turn. And you were pretty, uh you were complying with it. You were just all right, cool, and then so about a month later, I think we got some more designs done by Choir. We never really used, and we decided to stay with Sector 6. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, let's get these hoodies out to these guys. And then at that point, I think Sector 6 was having some shipping delay problems and whatnot, and it was just a whole mess. Uh, and then I got your hoodie out to you, and at this point, it was around a time where a land was coming up, I think. And Cheeto had already, me and him had already, butted heads a few times. During this time, he's DM me a gazillion times. Where's the hoodie? When's the hoodie? Insulting me, calling me names, all types of different things. With me, uh, owning an org and bringing people on, I have to stay as professional as I can, no matter what the situation is, and I gotta go through it with the best of my ability. um and so I just kind of ignored it. I was like, all right, hey, since you're kind of going crazy on me and insulting me, hey, it's a free hoodie. I don't have to give it to you if I don't want to. you know we're just gonna call it off, and thanks for liking the hoodies, but we're just gonna call it off, man. I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. And that was that, and I blocked them. I try not to respond to much on social media publicly because I think I just don't think it looks good. um, but I saw him at a LAN, and I'm sorry I'm going so deep into this, but it's
No,
such a
this is what we want to hear.
no,
So you're good.
it's such a long story because it was like a 4 month, like it was a 4 month duration of just like problems with this guy. So it's like I gotta tell you every single encounter. But I know I saw him at a local land. He drove down to Kansas City from wherever he lives. I think somewhere up north in one of the northern states or something like that. But he drove to Kansas City for a land. I go to all the Kansas City lands just to watch. Sometimes I'll play, but I just like to watch them. Um, but he drove down and I saw him at a land and he was on main stage playing a team and I was sitting next to the team that he was playing because I have a lot of friends on I have a couple friends on the team that he was playing against. A couple of them are actually streamers for KCP currently, but he beats them and he stands up and he's like he doesn't even like talk trash to them at all, but he's like hey Mutified, and I look over and he just starts cussing me out and I'm just like what is he talking, he's like cussing me out, he's like calling me broke, he's like where's my hoodie at, and I'm just sitting there and then I don't say anything, I'm just like chilling there for a second, and then uh I think when their match was over, he came and sat by me, and he was still talking, and that's when we kind of exchanged some words, and then I dipped, I left. Like I said, I gotta stay as professional as I can. I had business partners at that event. You know, I gotta stay as professional as I can, and have that discipline, that self discipline. So that ended that, and then a month later, actually 3 weeks later, we're in Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota, and Cheeto's up in Minnesota. And so, like I said, it's this long like duration of like encounters, man. I'm like, and like I don't incite it, so it's like every time I see him, he says something or like chirps me, and it's like, come on, man, like when you gonna grow up? And then I found out that I thought I was older than Cheeto. I thought we were around the same age, and then I found out like this guy's like 3 or 4 years older than me. It's like, sheesh, bro. Like how are you gonna harass me about this free hoodie? But yeah, I see him in Minnesota, and I'm like walking past, um, and he's like, and then he says something to me, uh, or he says something about me, and I hear it because he says my name during it, and I turned around, and I'm live on Twitter. I was live on Twitter when this was happening. COD Gamepedia had shouted my what's it called? Do you guys know what it's called when you go Peerscope? Peerscope. They shouted my Peerscope out because I was like the only one that was on Peerscope at the event. So I had like 700 people in there, and I'm live, man, and I'm walking past, and and I'll link it to you guys where I turn around, and I turn around, and I'm like, "What'd you say, bro?" And then I'm like, I need to end this stream. Like he's gonna say something crazy, or like I don't want to lose my temper, like anything like that. So I end the stream, and it's the owners of Senior Origin who have a problem with me for some reason, and then it's Cheeto, and they're just talking mess to me, man. And we just exchange words, and uh and then he just kept saying stuff, man. And like that's at some point, you break, some point you lose your temper. I didn't get to that point, but I will say that I almost did. We're face to face, and he's just calling me names, man, names that I don't even want to say on your podcast. Nothing like extremely, nothing racially motivated or anything like that, but like just insults, man, that you don't want to say to somebody, or you don't want anybody saying to your face. So you know uh we had that little incident, nothing physical or anything like that, but then he goes on Twitter and he's like, hey, Mutify just tried to fight me and all this, and he tried to headbutt me. And I will tell you guys right now, I've been in fights before, and I've never even headbutted anybody in a real fist fight. I'm sure everybody's had scuffles or fights, and I've never tried to headbutt anybody in my life. Um, so and like I said, Cheeto has a community himself. There's people that literally have hashtag like Wonga Gang or Cheeto Gang in their bios. People like he has his own community. He has his own fan base. I didn't have that. I don't have that. So it's his word against mine. And when you have that community and you have those people that are gonna back you, you're you're gonna look like the good guy. And so I didn't have that, so I stayed off of social media. I tried to explain my side of the story, and it really came down to who's it really came down to his word versus my word. And then luckily, I was able to get one of the only witness that was there besides the senior origin owner who doesn't like me, was amateur player. His name's Fame. I'm sure you guys know Fame.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fame.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, so I'm like DMing Fame. I'm like, hey man, like I know you don't know me, but you gotta come out, man. Like you're the only person that saw this, bro. Like you gotta come out and tell people what really happened. That at that moment and what happened, and let people know I did not try to get physical with this guy, um, or anything like that. So he finally came out with a statement that cleared my name and let everybody know that it was just a verbal incident. And that nothing transpired other than that. And he came out with that tweet and let people know, and then my name was cleared, and I haven't heard anything on it since. I know every once I heard Cheeto tweeted something out about me probably about 3 months ago, like a month after that or something like that. But ever since then, it's been straight, and I haven't taken any attention to it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Like I said, I know that was probably like a 10-minute story, but like it was just so much that happened. So
Man, that sounds like it was pretty tough to like deal with, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, personally, I would say that any publicity is good publicity, whether it's good or bad. I mean, it was probably bad at the very beginning, but I mean, of course, I'd assume that it probably got you a little bit of exposure, honestly. But
nah, yeah, it did.
but I'm sorry to hear that, man. It just any scuffles, any type of beefs in the community are just like it's not healthy for anybody. But we're gonna switch gears here just a little bit. You mentioned marketing is really really important to you, which it should be for everybody, individually, organizations, for your team, just whatever you're trying to do. Marketing is really important. So what are the techniques or what are the things that you do to increase your brand or just like what do you do as far as marketing?
Okay, so no, that's another great question. We take our content and our marketing extremely serious, and I think that that's probably our number one reason why we are where we are. Because we produce content like a tier one organization. Our content isn't like your usual Twitter org or amateur organization. We actually take the time out of our day to do this in real life, and bring our content creators in, or our teams in, our players in, to actually do cool things, and make dope announcements and videos and photo shoots, whatever it might be. But no, that's dope. Because we are actually partnered with a marketing agency. Two of our owners are actually owners of a marketing agency. So we're blessed to have the access to the cameras, the microphones, the studios, and then the city. Like we do a bunch of dope stuff around the city. So no, it's great that we have access to do all that. All they ask me to do is come up with an idea for what you want to do, like whether it's a docu series or a documentary, and they just operationalize it. And they're great. I have a great team behind me, great leadership team, and those guys are great. And so we go to drastic measures to do what we do on the content side of things, and help our players and personalities build their personal brands, and as well as build our brand. So
Do you have any like high tier like media, like as far as like photo shoots, commercials that other orgs are not even into yet?
um I would say that like I said, we do a lot of things that like you see come off of like the optic page, or like the phase page. Like we just, like, for example, about 2.5 months ago, before all the COVID stuff, we shot a documentary, more like a docu series, with our guys, just explaining why they love gaming, why they're into gaming, what got them here, how their family feels about them, where does their support system come from. I try to keep it um more family oriented. So no, I think a lot of the stuff that we do is unique, but it's some of the same type of things that you see come from a tier one org. That has $42 million capital raises. People seem to forget that we're grassroots still, man. We haven't even announced our first initial capital raise. We haven't raised $42 million. We haven't raised $10 million. Not yet. So it's like we're doing these things as a grassroots organization that a lot of amateur orgs don't have access to do. So we're very fortunate to be able to do that.
That sounds really, really high tier, honestly. Like, I see a lot of orgs nowadays that just kind of do the simple, retweet, giveaways. They don't really have any, content or connection with their players other than saying that these players are underneath us. And it's really great to hear that you're actually being a lot more involved, and I'd expect success out of you in the future.
I appreciate that, my man.
All right, so kind of transitioning into the next thing, something that is kind of a huge topic right now. I feel like for just the community as a whole, is diversity in esports. So, what is kind of your opinions on that, and what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that's something that really stands out to me personally, and it's a very personal agenda for me because obviously the culture and the background and my ethnicity is it's something that's being talked about all around the world right now, especially with the protests and the riots and everything going on right now. So it's really big for me to promote diversity in esports and gaming, because I feel like the gaming community is actually one of the scenes where a lot of racially motivated you know disrespect or slurs come from, man. I can't tell you how many times when I was younger back in the day, in game chat, I was called racial slurs in like the game chat. I'm sure like I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about that. I'm sure you guys have heard that type of stuff yourselves,
Oh,
you know,
100%.
yeah, while gaming, So I think that, gaming is where a lot of that has stemmed from, and it's the internet too. So it's like a lot of these people that, don't say these things in person, they have a gateway to go online and say these things to people and not have any consequence for it. So, gaming has been a way for a lot of people to get away for with stuff like that. Um but no, with my company, specifically, we promote diversity, man. We support it. We have girls, guys, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. We have those ethnicities, those cultures within our company, man. And we want more. We want more diversity within our company and within esports as a whole. I think it's very important to promote that. And like I said, it's very personal to me. And it's something that I want to continue to you know build on. There's something that I want to continue to support. It's something that should be uh, people should raise awareness for it. Just like anything else, man. And because gaming is supposed to be an escape for everybody to have, man. And we all go and have our hard days, your bad days, and you get home, you get on the game, and like you instantly feel better, man. Like gaming is a gateway for anybody and everybody to come home and feel good. There should be no reason why people should come home from a bad day and jump on the game and be in game chat and be called slurs and negative things, man. And it's like and I still see it. The FaZe Jarvis just got called out for it about 2 months ago. He got suspension from FaZe or something like that for saying some racial stuff, man. Like we still see it, and so it's like we got to raise awareness, we got to educate people on it, uh and that's what it really comes down to, I think. And specifically with the riots and protests, man, I think that we just got to educate people, man, and people got to listen. A lot of gamers, a lot of personalities have been tweeting out recently supporting things like in groups like Black Lives Matter and things like that. I think that's great, man. And it's just about educating people and people listening, man. uh it's a lot of younger people in our community and in our industry, and we just gotta listen to each other and raise awareness and do it together, man. Gaming's a lot like a football team, or like it's a team. We like I said, I play football, man, and it's like, we all go out on that field as brothers. Just like with gaming, we all team together. We're brothers. We do that. We work together, and we utilize teamwork. You get out on that field. It's not about how big you are, how small you are, the color of your skin, who's rich, who's poor, and none of that matters. We're out there trying to knock somebody's head off together, and it's the same with video games. We're a team. We're trying to build our personal brands together, and we're trying to build one brand together, and we're trying to collectively build an industry together. And so we support, like I said, we support uh, things like Black Lives Matter. We support diversity. We support we tweeted out happy Pride Month. We support these things because the world is changing. It's 2020. There's different types of people everywhere, and we just got to support each other and love each other.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I was like, you put it greatly.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna say that was probably one of the more better responses I've heard from people. Um, so just to kind of touch on the kind of in that question, you talked a lot about culture. So I was wondering, what are some of the biggest things for having a great culture within your org?
Yeah, that's actually like one of like the main things that I've actually been like very passionate about. Like my like I'm the director of esports, but I actually thought about going with something like director of like culture, or like something that had culture in it, man. Because like culture to me, and to me personally, isn't always uh like back to the kind of diverse thing. Like culture isn't always like a black thing or like a white thing, but like culture is like a generational as a people type thing, if that makes sense.
No, that
Like
makes 100%. Like that
like
makes so much sense.
for sure, like our culture, like we all listen to like the same different types of music. We all play this, like I said, we all play the same games. We play video games. It's something that like that I can't think of a word for it, but like it's very collective. It's something that we have to kind of build collectively. um but building culture within esports and within like KCP and like the city here in Kansas City is just building something dope that everybody believes in. The culture that we've built within Kansas City Pioneers is, we all believe in one vision, and that vision is just to be great. Like I said, we're very grassroots. We have streamers that grind for KCP every single day in day out, with great work ethics, and they're doing it because they believe in this vision that we're going to be great one day. And we're going to be one of these top tier esports brands. And so I think culture really comes down to believing in a vision and everybody chasing that together, because it's really hard to stop. Like that's a lot of momentum. You can't stop 30 people believing in the same vision. It's just not possible. And so um building that culture where our work ethics are all the same. We're all grinding, all putting in the effort. uh that's the culture we build here, and that's the standard that we build within our organization. We want to set standards in the esports industry. There's no set standards yet. That's why you still see orgs not paying players. That's why you see players in lawsuits with orgs and stuff like that. That's why you still see these things, because there's no industry standard, and we're trying to help build that. And we can only build that if we build, if we work on the culture and build the culture, and work together.
Man, like that's a great plan, great goal. Um, you talk a lot about how you done this and built this and tried to achieve this all on your own. Um, but I'm assuming that there must be someone or a group of people, organization, or someone that helped you along and guided you along the way. Like, is there anybody you would like to speak on that is close to you that has helped you or guided you like on this journey?
Yeah, so um you're never really in it alone. You might be physically, but like I talk to I have mentors, man. One of my mentors is actually uh the director of operations at Kansas City Pioneers. You know, his name's Alex. Uh Me and him were chatting before I even had started Pioneers, man. I'd met him on Twitter, and we chatted it up a few times, and like he guided me through, you know, how to begin a startup company. And then on top of that, like I said, my other one of my other co-owners, Sam, uh he did a lot of the editing and videos for me at the beginning. And he was I we like I said, he co-owns a marketing agency, and so actually founded it. He's the founder of a marketing agency, and so our parents worked together, and so we just had the mutual connection, and so um, you know, he helped me out with the videos, helped me out with the marketing strategy, and like I said, you're never really alone physically. Like I was the one physically, you know, operation operation doing operations and recruiting, and I was physically doing everything myself. I was the face of the brand at the time. I was the only one there. I was the only one, outing myself as a part of KCP. But those guys were in the background, and then on top of that, my family, man. I was in school. It's my first year of college. I'm playing college football, and like I'm juggling everything, and like I went through like a crazy bad breakup, man. Like I was like rock bottom, and so like there's always a support system for you. I had my family, my friends, and then like I said, Alex was one of my mentors, and then Sam he helped me out a lot with marketing, and then a couple months later, I got those guys to come on board, and now they're co-owners, and now we're going at this thing, full steam ahead. So
Yeah. I think that's a great backstory, and I think that's something that probably not a lot of people know about you. So thankful that you shared that because that kind of gives some insight into you that not the everyday person just seeing you on Twitter would know. So um,
it's facts.
my next question for you is: what advice would you give for anyone wanting to get into the esports scene, whether it be a player or starting an org? Just kind of what tips would you give that person?
Um, you know, Coming into uh esports and playing sports my whole life, uh you know just being me, man. Personally, I've been doubted, I've been egoed, I've been rejected, and that and that's those are three things that I claim, like, a lot of the time made me who I am today and got me where I am today. You're gonna get rejected in life. You're gonna get egoed. People are gonna tell you no. People are gonna say things about you. But like I kept believing in myself, man. You just gotta believe in yourself, and you know, you know, I had like unrealistic dreams, man. Like my dreams were so big, and and this was one of my dreams, man. I thought that this dream was too big to even fulfill. But I'm doing it, man. It's like you just got to chase your dreams, because if you go out and do it, you can make it happen, man. Like I said, I got people told me that I was too young to start an org. I had a guy that was supposed to start KCP with me, and he backed out on me last minute. He was supposed to help me like invest in what we needed to do to get it started, but he backed out on me last minute because he just was skeptical and just didn't believe in the vision, man. And so I just had to do it alone. And I'll tell you a little bit about the story, because it's a really feel good story, and it's something that really boosted my motivation and my morale. About 3 months after I started the brand, he shot me a text, basically like apologizing for like not being a part of it, and just telling me how skeptical he was, and that he was sorry that he gave me an ego, kind of just gave me the finger and kind of backed out, and just dipped on me. But he just apologized for it and all that, and then I was just able to just keep it professional, just like, hey, no problem, no hard feelings. But nah, I'm not looking to work with you anymore. Like it's just all about the day ones, man. Like if I sit down and explain my vision to you and show you the numbers on it, the analytics, what we're gonna do. I have a whole plan mapped out, and if if you're like nah, then that's fine. Let's just keep it like that. Let's keep it professional. We'll just keep it like that. We don't have to work together. But when this blows up, uh, just know that I'm gonna remember who was there when I explained that vision, and who was there when I told them I had big dreams. People will try to put their limits on you. People will try to put their personal limits on you. You might tell them something that like a big dream or something that you feel like you can accomplish, but they don't feel like they can accomplish, and because of that they're going to tell you that you can't do that because they feel like they can't. So I've been through that a lot. I'm chasing two or three big dreams right now. I'm trying to make it to the NFL. I want to have a tier one organization. I'm chasing those dreams. And so big dreams. What I like to say is a lot of people say if you have a plan B, then you don't believe that you can accomplish that plan A. So what I like to say is, I don't have a plan B. I just got three plan A's. So I'm going at all those dreams full steam ahead, and there's nothing that's gonna stop me, man.
Man, that just sounds like that just shows your like maturity and professionalism, and I respect that. You have so many things going on. You have your head's in so many different directions. You're multitasking, and you're putting your head down and you're putting in the work. And when people blow you off when you want to start something, after you already put your head down and you put in all this work and you get the ball rolling, and shit starts to pick up, and they want to hop on the train at that point, it's like, yeah, I respect that and I get that, and I don't think anybody can blame me for that, and I think that was the best movie you could have made.
No, that's facts, man. Always, I'll never lose respect for anybody, for telling me no. But it's just like, if I get it on and popping, just know that I'm gonna remember that you told me no. You were my motivation to actually do what I did. So you already helped me. I don't need your help anymore. You already helped me by telling me no and giving me your ego. And so that's what drives me, man. That's what made me who I am. Uh, you know, it's just it's negative, but it's positive. Um,
Yeah, I get that.
so you know,
But moving on, well, like, what is some of the ways, and just how do you go about balancing your life and esports?
actually, I didn't I didn't know how at first, man. Like, I struggled throughout high school because like I said, I was a huge gamer. Like I didn't, I played sports and gaming were my babies. Like those were my life. I struggled throughout high school because I didn't focus on it. I had to learn the hard way, but I transferred to the number one school in the state of Kansas last year to play football. I came out of high school with D1 offers to play Division 1 football. That I wasn't able to accept those scholarships because I struggled throughout high school, man. It was more of a, like I said, I was a gamer, so it was a lazy thing. I didn't do my work. I'd come home from school and immediately jump on the game. If I didn't have football practice or after football practice, it was never do my homework. It was never study. It was always either play the game, go hang out with friends, or whatever. Like my mind was just never on it. Um, so I had to learn the hard way, and I had to take the junior college route so I could get back up to the Division 1 level academically. And so I when I graduated last year and started the company, I went to Fort Scott Community College, which is identical to, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Last Chance U. It's on Netflix. But it's a JUCO, just like that show. They play football in there. Um, and, I went and I was there for about 3 months, and the company started blowing up. Kansas City Pioneer started blowing up. So I'm driving back to Kansas City, which is an hour and a half away, about every other day to meet with people, because like nobody had ever seen this before. I'm coming back. Nobody had ever seen it before in Kansas City. I'm coming back to Kansas City every other day to have meetings with, people with, mansions and, Teslas and like people with very wealthy people. And so it's like I at that point I'm like, okay, this is something that's gonna be huge. I need to like fully focus on this. So about 3 months into college, I told my family, I'm like, hey, this company thing's just been working out for me a lot. And I think I'm gonna come home for a semester and work on it, build it, and then I'll come back to school because this is something I can't miss out on. The football dreams, the football window is open, for years. And so, like I said, I graduated a year earlier than I was supposed to. So, everything worked out to my advantage. Um, so I came home in about at in August, in October, about October, to run Kansas City Pioneers full time, and that's what I've been doing since then. And then in February, I was offered another scholarship to another junior college to play football, and so that's where I'll be uh, at the end of July. So right now, I'm just working on the processes of getting a house down there, a house or apartment, something like that down there, so I can get my setup down there. And get back to football, man. So I'm really excited. But yeah, like I said, I didn't know how to juggle it at first. It took a while for me to learn how to multitask running a business that that I want to be a multi-million-dollar business here in the next couple years, and then also live out the dream, the football dream, man. And so like I said, you don't always have to know right away, but you always figure it out. That's pretty much what I'll say on that. You'll always figure it out. you know uh Make sure you have a great support system, family, friends, um whatever that is, man. There were some hard days where I didn't know what to do, um things like that. So I eventually found a mutual ground with myself, um on how I wanted to, go about things. Uh, for some people, it might not have been, coming home, but for me, that was what worked best, and that's what got us here today. So, no, I'm very proud of how I went about it, and I'm still able to live out both of those dreams and work hard at those.
Gotcha. So, I think one of the things I want to highlight in that that I liked a lot was like you knew that this was a big opportunity with all these people kind of coming to you and being like, wanting to meet with you and stuff. So I think it's kind of cool to see someone really grasp their opportunities instead of kind of letting these things fade without, seeing the full life of what could have been. And I think that's something that I believe in a lot is like just not ever wanting to get in the future and be like, oh, I missed my chance.
Yeah,
It's kind of grasping
yeah.
that. But the next question I have for you is how big is content for people coming into the scene, and how much should orgs focus on it?
Content is your bread and butter in esports. Especially if you're going after like a business model of an organization like a 100 Thieves or Phase Clan or Optic. Content is your bread and butter, because people love content, man. People love being able to jump on Twitter and seeing a 1 or 2 minute video of you and your crew or whatever just doing dope shit. So it's like, you know that's why Phase is as big as they are. That's why 100 Thieves, what they were founded about 4 or 5 years ago, and they're huge. They're bigger than some of these orgs that have been around for 10, 15 years. And it's just because they produce the content. People want the content. It's like I said, it's your bread and butter. It's a lot more. Um, it helps you grow a little bit better than just competing in esports. It's one thing to have some of the top esports teams in the world, and the only time you see videos of them is when the tournament organizer or the or whatever it might be, like shows highlights of them playing. Like it's one thing to just do that, just have the esports department within a company, but it's another to have the esports department and then the content department where you've got streamers, personalities, and then on top of that you do dope stuff with the esports teams. So that's kind of what we're chasing. That's the model that we're kind of going after, and that's the culture that we're building. We want to be a lifestyle brand. We want people to, I want to be able to walk outside or walk to walk inside of a mall or to an event and see people with Kansas City Pioneers hats on or shirts, just like I see people in Kansas City Chiefs shirts or Royals or whatever that might be. We want to be that household esports name here in this city. So yeah, I think like I said, content's huge, merch is huge. People want to wear dope stuff. So that it's really big for us.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the dream, man. That'd be amazing just to walk down the street and see your personal brand on people's backs, and just to see you the work that you've put out there, and now it's really coming to fruition. Like, I mean, I can't even imagine that feeling. Like that'd be
Facts.
so cool, man. But you're a gamer at heart, and I imagine you play some games. You fuck with Warzone?
I'm a Warzone fanatic.
Yeah,
I fiend for Warzone 24/7.
yeah. Who are some of the people you've been playing Warzone with?
So Warzone. Okay, so I do a lot of streaming. And as an organization owner, I think that a lot of organization owners should do something that interacts with their community or their uh just whatever that might be. I think you should do something, whether it be the face of your brand, producing, videos, YouTube, whatever, or streaming. And so I try to do that. So um uh it makes people want to interact with the brand a little bit more. So I do a lot of streaming, and I stream Warzone probably every single day. um I play with a lot of the KCP guys and girls. I play with just a lot of friends, IRLs, and then I also play with some celebrities sometimes. So I'm sure you guys know who DeMarcus Lawrence is from the Dallas Cowboys. I play with
Okay,
him. I
okay.
play with him. He's been a really good. Just kind of he's kind of been like a mentor to me. Because like I said, he took the same route that I'm taking. To get to the NFL, he went to a junior college, then he went to a D1 college, and then he made it to NFL, obviously. So he always has a lot of advice for that. And then I don't know if he's ever gonna see this, but if he does not, then hopefully I mean, if he does, hopefully he won't get mad at me. But I have to carry him a lot. Uh, but it's all fun and games though. He's very fun, and then I play with another great mentor of mine. His name's Chase. He used to play in the NFL as well. He used to play for the Vikings, and now he does a lot of esports work. And so I play with him a lot, and playing with guys like that is great. Not only just for the experience of like playing with somebody that has a huge platform, or playing with somebody that is famous or makes a ton of money or nothing like that. It's literally just about um just seeing what their journey was, to get where they are, man. Because that's unique, man. Those types of people have very unique lives. And, it's always cool to hear about how they got there and what advice they have. um so you can help yourself get there. So no, it's pretty dope playing with celebrities and people like that, man. And I've played with there's a rapper slash singer. I'm just gonna call him an artist because his music is like rapping slash singing a little bit, but like his name is Rex Life Raj. I played with him once. He was really really cool. He follows me on Twitter, and we still chat every once in a while on Twitter. Um, but no, just playing with people like that is just really dope, man. Because like a lot of people don't look at people like that like they're people. These people are put on pedestals, and put on, like I said, they're put on pedestals, and they're looked at as uh like figures. They're not people to some people. So it's like really cool to just jump in a call. I mean, not a call, but it's cool to jump in a party and hear somebody like DeMarcus Lawrence say something completely normal. You're like, oh, this guy's just a guy. He's just a man. But some people don't look at those people like that. So no, it's just really a dope experience playing with people like that. And I just look forward to continuing to play with them, and just playing with more people like that, and getting to know some more NFL players or rappers or singers or personalities or whatever that might be. So
Yeah, man, it's got to be really surreal for you, especially as far as like Demarcus. He's traveling the same path that he already traveled the same path that you're currently on. It's at that point it's more than just playing a game with someone that's a celebrity. It's someone that you look up to, and he probably gives you some good advice, and that's just really cool, man. It's glad to hear. Like, and to hear your story, like it just makes you so human. It's like really interesting to hear like the history behind you and like where you've been and what you've done, and man, it's been nice hearing from you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So we've kind of got a bunch of different stuff that we talked about in this podcast, but one thing I want to kind of just close with is if you had to pick one moment within your esports tenure, what is the best moment throughout your entire career?
Hmm. That's a that's a good question. I don't know how to answer it. Okay. It probably have to be I was about 14 or 15 years old, and I was streaming some COD, and like I was a smaller streamer. Like I've always been a smaller community based streamer. Um, even though like I'm at like 1,600 followers, 10K views, but I'm always average, maybe 10 to 20 viewers. Um, but I remember one time I was streaming COD and I got rated and I was like, who's rating me? Like my viewers jumped up to I think like 200 or 300, and people were like in there. I was getting crazy amount of follows, and then I looked at the chat and um the ocean what is it, the ocean ops OPZ, I don't know how to say it. I think it's the ocean ops swag XBL, who actually is in phase now. Swag XBL, and I had two other big time street like person YouTubers had rated me, and like it was, and they started, and they donated me like $50 each. Like they donated me money, and it was just like so surreal. And like I think I still have the screenshot to this day of like the chat. um with like it's just cool. And like like I said, Swag XBL, I think he just goes by Swag now. He just recently joined Phase like 2 months ago, so it's like I've been able to see him go on his journey from jumping in a small Twitch streamers stream, 4 or 5 years ago, till now, bro. Like getting in phase, that's a huge deal. So I'd probably have to say that that's probably like the most surreal moment I've had in esports, and like the most like that's like the dopest thing that's ever happened to me in esports or streaming, whatever you want to call it. Like it's just been fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, that sounds like something crazy, especially at such a young age. I feel like that would be, you know, some people would just freak out. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that personally. So, but like I said, thank you for coming out. This has been a super insightful podcast. And I hope that you enjoyed your time on. And I hope that this gives some of the viewers kind of more than what you guys just see from Twitter day to day. Because, like he said throughout the video, is like some people are put on pedestals, and I think that it's important to remember that we're all humans at the end of the day. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out to the Terncast. Thank you, Mutified, for coming out.
Yes, sir.
It was a lot of
Thank you
fun.
for having me.
Yep, no problem. Hope to have you on again soon. Maybe some more org owners would be cool to kind of, get all the org owners in together and kind of hear their thoughts on the scene in general. But thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.